I like to use these standalone recorders. This one I have is called the Tascam Model 12. And it reminds me a lot of the 4-track cassette recorders I used to use as a kid. Let's take a look at what I've got. So when I sat down to record this song, the first thing I did was put a drum beat down. I just created a little simple beat with an app called the DM1 drum app. And I often do this because it acts as a metronome or a click track. Everything else I do is going to line up with it and have a solid rhythm. So I added my acoustic guitar on top of that. This is that pattern, the C, F, A minor, G pattern. And once I had those down, I had a really pretty solid foundation of a rhythm track. The next thing I did was add an electric guitar playing a melody up top. This happens to be a very similar melody that I end up singing as the verse. I added some effects. Here's without the effect. I like it better. I put chorus and reverb on it. Kind of surfy, which affects the style of the song. And then I have my vocals. Same melody. And I doubled my vocals. That means I sang the same part twice, as close as I could to being similar, and I panned them left and right. You'll hear that a lot in Beatles and like early pop music. Here's my chorus. So I'm going to add my keyboard part and a background vocal. Notice I changed my drum pattern for the chorus as well. It goes to the right cymbal. Kind of opens up a bit. After the first chorus, I go to a little instrumental interlude. It just goes back to that guitar melody. This is a nice way for your song to kind of take a break before you start the second verse. Second verse, pretty much the same as the first, different lyrics. Here comes my next chorus. So we have a pretty straightforward form here. We were talking about forms. This is just intro, verse, chorus, interlude, verse, chorus, and then instead of a bridge, have a guitar solo. I just kind of played a little lead part that's over the verse chords. I didn't really plan on doing a guitar solo, but once I heard this effect on there, I just really liked the guitar tone. So that's a good example of how your song can change stylistically. This is almost like an indie surf rock kind of sound. I thought it was going to be more of a singer-songwriter acoustic thing, but the recording process can change your style pretty quickly. And here comes the end of my song. I hit a minor chord, and it's about 2 minutes 45 seconds. Pretty short tune, but I got the idea across.